So, in case you hadn't guessed, today is Wednesday. Hi. Jim already reminded me of the fact it was Wednesday. He has a show out also. This one will be going out in about an hour and a half from now. It's another continuous take show. I will be running some TH sections today. Some terribly hard traditional hike sections. I do have a timer on my wrist that will tell me when my 48 minutes is up. I don't know if you heard Steve Hellstone's last show, but he kind of did what I did. He compiled 2 or 3 days worth of running and walking and put it together as one show on Spreaker. Kevin and Steve both use a different app to record their sound. So as long as you have a way of piecing them together, you can bypass the 15-minute limit on the app, and then you're only governed by the total time that they will store your material. As I pass through the Mount Douglas parking lot, heading up towards the gate, which is closed, I'm going to be doing a fair amount of TH stuff today. I'm going to follow Irvine up to the top and then come back down Glendenning and head for Mavis's place to rescue her wash from the dryer. I'm still ahead of my pace, but very soon I will be hitting some incline, which will break me into a hike. Give my little heart a chance to recover from the effort of the foothills. I was going to walk just then, but I know this tops out just around here. Before it goes up again. This is the dry section section of Douglas Creek. I have a friend who came visiting from Montreal a few years ago, who was an avid fisherman. And when he saw the little signs for salmon hatchery on Douglas Creek, he got really quite excited and started to plan a hike up Douglas Creek. Well, he didn't get very far because he was bushwhacking within seconds of starting. I'm going to try and stay for as long as possible on the wide trails, 2-meter trails. This is a swampy area just in the basin of Douglas Creek. Very soon I've got a very steep climb, which I will hike. Not because of its technical difficulty.
Time, 14 minutes, 27 seconds. Distance, 2 kilometers. Workout average pace, 7 minutes, 12 seconds per kilometer.
I will hike it because it's too steep to run just at this stage in my career. I'm having a lot of fun with the friends who like the Seeker podcast page. We have been getting some stellar contributions. On Sunday, after I put out my Sunday show, I will start to edit back some of the pictures. I really don't want to carry a huge amount. This way, with seasonal adjustments, I will work my way through 50 approximately pictures and hold them for a week. Gives me enough to choose from when I have to prune, because I anticipate that I will have closer to 70 pictures up there. There's 2 ways of doing this for you guys. If you want to just post your pictures and have me choose one and remove the rest from the Seeker page, I can do that. Failing that, you could just send me the one picture that you want. If you want me to choose, use the former. And if you want to choose one yourself, use the latter. Choose one, send it to the page. I'm now climbing on Irvine. On this particular outing, this little session of noodling, I will be having to walk under a tree that fell against a rock face. It's way too big for me to climb over, so I have to squeeze under. So this is as steep as a stairway now. I don't know about you, but I don't run stairways very often. Oh, getting back to the pictures, yeah. If there is a lot of pixelation, meaning that it was either a low light shot or there was some movement, and there was some blurring of the picture. There's not a lot I can do with it, but if it's well sourced, if you've got a good data chunk with the photograph, I can crop it and focus in some detail and some enhancement of color and contrast. But if it's blotchy to start with, blotchy it will remain. You cannot make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. I'm now on the chin scraper section. This is about the most serene part of my run today. Today I plan to compare my calorie burn from yesterday's slightly undulating run, which topped out at 769 calories. Compare that with 500 spent calories on this climb. I don't have enough time to burn 700 calories this morning, so I will have to settle with the 500 as I crawl under a tree and onto a rock face. So, time check. Time check is 12 minutes from Robinwood to halfway up Irvine. I will be getting hydration reminders, 12-minute ahead or behind reminders, and that should be it. So I'm still going up. I've decided to try and hit the summit as quickly as possible and then back it off a little bit, coming down Glendenning Trail and Glendenning Road, ending up on Feltham at the Victorian. Today, once again, Mavis is having blood work. I have to make sure she's in her chair at 10 and not wandering around the building. And then she's going later with Norma, her daughter, to get some antibiotics for her leg. She needs antibiotics because one of her injuries looks infected. So I hope they kick in quickly and well for her. The home visit nurse phoned me up and we had a 20-minute chat about Mavis's condition. She had to explain the protocol. I'm going to meet some people with at least one child. Wow, that kid is climbing up this trail with his dad. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
He's quite an alpinist.
Yeah.
Hello. Are you an alpiniste?
Oui, il y a des dinosaures, il y a des 4 dinosaures.
Suivez-moi.
Si tu peux le suivre, monsieur.
Suivez-moi, monsieur.
Il ouvre la marche.
Oui, oui. Comment t'appelles?
Comment tu t'appelles?
Atanash?
Athanase.
Athanase.
Vous, monsieur, vous vous appelez comment?
Carlos.
Carlos.
Carlos Castillo.
Ça, c'est un nom d'alpiniste.
So he's French. He's talking to his little kid in French as he climbs this particular trail. He doesn't look as if he has a frightened bone in his tiny little body. He's fearless, quite an alpiniste. That's the French word for mountain climber. Atanas. Atanas. That sounds biblical to me.
28 seconds behind.
2 minutes behind, okay. So that would be what would that be? The 24 minutes in to the run timer. And I'm almost at the summit of the antenna, which means that if I get my halfway to my goal, in other words the 250 calories, my plan should work perfectly. And to save me a lot of mental arithmetic, I did start my chronometer on this climb, on this recording I should say, which basically boils down to all the trail section that I've done so far to get almost to the top of the antenna hill on Mount Douglas. I've been using the native name for the mountain, which is Picols. The reason I do this is to bring awareness to yet another language, the language of the indigenous people here. I don't know how it is in your culture, but what tends to happen here is that the Indians tend to leave the reserve when they get married and educated. So the reserve ends up full of grandparents looking after grandchildren. I guess that is the protective family way, excuse me, of bringing up a family. Those who have to stay at home look after the kids, and those who can go out to work do so. Alright, Upper Irvine. Pretty soon I'll be in some sort of glory zone, heading downhill for a change. This is yet another of those terribly hard traditional hike sections. I don't have to put my recorder down just yet. It's not that bad. I'm not going to trip at this speed. Well, if I hadn't put out a video yesterday, I would have brought my...
Switching to accelerometer. GPS on. Halfway to your goal.
There you go. All at once. If I hadn't have put out a video yesterday, I would have liked to put one out today. Only because I think I've been putting out too many blue sky videos. I need to acknowledge seasonal change, which brings me back to the page, the album page. I will be doing a few little pruning sessions throughout the week, so please don't send me your original and delete your copy, because there is no guarantee that it'll stay on that page. Most of you are friends of mine on Facebook anyway, so if you post half a dozen pictures or more, I will look at them for potential. I'm ruthless, I must warn you. I prune my own stuff a lot.
Switching to accelerometer.
This business of switching
Yes, on.
to accelerometer is when I'm not moving fast enough for the GPS to detect any change in position, but the accelerometers are little weighted meters that record movement, not geographic movement, but physical movement. So if it doesn't have a GPS signal, it will switch to basically a step counting mode. Alright, almost at the top. There is a plaque up here that somebody put up a long while ago. I haven't seen it in a while. I wonder if it has anything written on it today. Nothing discernible written on it. I will take a quick picture of it. I'm sure I can do that without ruining my data collection. I just have to switch to camera mode on my phone. Take the picture and head on back. That's too good an opportunity not to take a picture the other way from that sign. I think you probably know that volume up on an iPhone acts as a shutter. Yeah. Sometimes it's easier to hold the phone steady if you're not trying to poke a little dot on a greasy screen. Alright. So I'm now given the option of the South Ridge Trail, which I think I will take today because I have summited and I'm heading back. So these two photographs that I took, one of that cryptic sign and one of Cormorant Cove, will be the only two pictures that I have for today, and that's how it will stay. I find that I can oversaturate the media with movies, trailers, slideshows, snippets from Mavis. So on Wednesday, I try and keep it just down to one major production for the day. And that is what I'm doing right now. I'm recording my Wednesday show as I scamper down the South Ridge Trail. Let me just put my phone back in my shirt because it's banging on my sternum a little too much when it's allowed to swing freely. Now this is the trail that the guy I spoke to last week said they were doing work on and they had it closed off, but at the moment it's Just plain sailing. Beautiful. Let me check that my app is still on. I think it is. Mind you now, the important aspect is my recording. The photographs, the actual trace is almost irrelevant. I have done this one before.
Workout started. GPS on.
Yep. We're back to 29 minutes of this particular track. It's always a little confusing when you press the button. You think, is it going to start a new recording or is it just going to go back to where it was? Which is in fact what it did. The scenery now is absolutely stunning. Now I wish I had brought my better camera, but still you'll get an idea. I was talking about oversaturation a second ago. Yeah, I think that I will stick to the 48 minutes, even though I will probably get more listeners if I cut it back. But I'm assuming, or I'm hoping, that you guys take me on your runs so that you can listen to me making my running noises while you're making your running noises. Otherwise, I think you're almost obliged to listen at your laptop with your earbuds in, because they're not really of general interest. They're just fascinating for a few people, which is fine. It will never go viral, let's put it that way. I have made friends with a young Kenyan athlete, and you're going to say, oh yeah, one of these super elite guys. No, this guy is below that rank. Now there's the sign. Trail closure. This trail has been permanently closed. That's above the sign. Severe erosion is contributing to environmental degradation and public safety concerns. Please follow trail markers for detailed trails, the dedicated trails. Okay, so they don't want people bushwhacking up there anymore, which is fine. I mean, this is why they were putting the signs up. There goes a hare. They don't want people to use the sand gully because of the erosion factor. So this is not Glendenning coming down, but this will lead into Glendenning, and then I'm like a bowling ball in a chute, heading towards my appointment with Mavis at 10 o'clock. It is now 8:32, and I have 29 minutes recorded. Hi there. All right. They have done a lot of people management here. They put barriers up where they don't want people to take shortcuts. They want people to use one trail and not bushwhack. The only options here are slight detours around tree stumps and rocks. I hear a dog's collar. Hello. Is that your dog up there?
Yeah, I have two.
You have two, I thought so. All right. Now it's down, 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 all the way. You'll get the cadence back again in a second. Sorry about the staccato of my hike. Now, which one? I'll take this one. This one is heading more in the direction of where I want to exit the park. So I got the 250 calorie reminder on the upside. Now I have a longer run, but technically a lot quicker because it's downhill. Ah, this is beautiful. Man, I wish you could all be here running down this trail right now. It's absolutely golden. I'm just trying to guess when I'm going to be popped out. I haven't done this trail in a while, so I know there's 2 or 3 exit points. Oh, I know. Yeah, this is going to be great. That's perfect. All I have to worry about now is the 48-minute cutoff. Yeah, this Kenyan I was telling you about, Edwin is his name. He's been fascinated by all my output just lately. He's befriended me on the Book of Faces. And, I'm well aware of what does happen in many occasions. People start asking for sponsorship and money for shoes. So this kid, I'd love to give him money for shoes, but I don't even give myself money for shoes. Let's get serious here. I sent him a message. I texted him on Facebook, told him that I was retired and not to worry, that I was very poor, and that soon his talent will be spotted by the sponsors, and then he would be able to send me shoes. So I told him I was going for a run, so hopefully he understands. He's probably 18 years old, that's the thing, he's not old enough. But he goes out with his group, his running group of Kenyan boys and girls, and they knock off 20-kilometer runs that they call easy pace at 4-minute kilometers, my friend. That is an hour and 20 minutes to run 20 kilometers. I'm lucky if I can do 10 of trails, that is. I'm pretty sure I can do 10 of road in an hour. They're doing double. That's an easy pace. Yep, I'm heading towards Glendenning, past I think this one is probably my 4th most favorite tree in the park. It's definitely a 3 or 4 man arms around the tree size. Hello. Thank you. I think I saw them last week. They brought the mother, the grandmother, and the kid this time. As I start into the payback zone, the glory zone of Glendenning, going south, when I get to the top here, I will check my record time. But you can see how I could cover 3 times the distance in the same amount of time here in the glory zone as in the TH sections. 36 minutes. Wow, this is going to be perfect. I got 2 minutes to say goodbye. I will just be exiting Mount Douglas Park at that moment, heading towards suburbia and chores. It's been a short run, but fascinating. I've introduced you to Edwin, a Kenyan runner. I have mentioned the Seeker podcast page a few times. Jim has a show out today, so you'll probably hear his show before mine. That's okay. Pretty soon he'll be able to plan his running and his recording according to his new schedule. Hello. That guy had way too much upper body to be a runner. He was more like a rugby player. I keep trying to find something that Mavis can watch early in the morning here in BC when I put the TV on for the Olympics, hoping to see rhythmic gymnastics or diving or equestrian. All I get is rugby sevens and what's the other one? Boxing. I mean, like Mavis is going to sit and watch boxing. Alright, so as I exit the park, I will gaze down at my chrono one more time and see how I'm doing. 38, that's good. Bye bye.